instructions. I'm about to play it again. Let's turn it up.
Good luck on your mission. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
What was that he said about something impossible?
The King has completed one of his toughest missions yet and brought the Impossible Whopper to Cayman. The Impossible Whopper, just like the regular Whopper, but made from plants. Brand new on island and only at Burger King, 7 Mile Beach, Waterfront, Walkers Road, and Red Bay.
Helping out each other, family and everybody. It's a simple act of kindness with you, me, and RBC.
RBC wants to spread acts of kindness during this festive season. One simple act of kindness for our friends, co-workers, and communities can cause the brightest smile. Help a stranger, give a food basket, or call an elderly person. Share your stories at facebook.com/RBC Caribbean.
Acts of kindness, RBC.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Star 927, its affiliates, or sponsors. Live from the 927 studios in the center of Cayman's capital, Georgetown, this is Straight Talk. Let's get to the point.
And good afternoon and welcome to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show. This is Catherine Tyson, your host, and just very excited to be back on the air. Here's Monday. Hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you had a great weekend, and just enjoying our beautiful island, our little slice of paradise. Yes, of course. Right. Today is Medical Mondays, and you know what that means? It's brought to you by Health City. And of course, we have our man from the East, coming straight and direct, no traffic, Mr. Shamari Scott, who is the Health City Chief Business Officer, Chief Bottle Cook and Washer, and what do I call that? Head cook and bottle washer.
I do whatever is asked of me.
Whatever is needed. Welcome, Shamari.
It's great to be here.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. See, I'm back again. All right. So I promised last week, and now I kept my promise, and I'm back here with you.
Yeah.
Always great to see you to end the Monday. They say Monday blues, but you and we look forward to what we do. So there are no Monday blues, but it's good to have the energy to end the day, right?
Well, I can tell you, what about Monday blues? At 5 o'clock on Monday, the blues gone.
Exactly.
Going home. So whatever blues occurred, we're all right.
Definitely.
We're skating towards, getting home and
Yes.
relaxing a little bit and,
Yes.
breathing off Monday. But yeah, just thankful for all of it. Also, we have joining us via the live stream is Dr. Alwyn Almeida, who is the Chief Orthopedic Surgeon. And we're talking today about sports medicine. So good afternoon, Dr. Alwyn. How are you?
I'm fine, Catherine. Thank you so much for having us on the show today.
Dr. Alwyn, are you on mute?
Could you hear me?
I know.
I don't know, but he said that I can see that he says that he's doing very well right about now. And it's a pleasure to actually be here, albeit virtually with you, Catherine. I can see him saying that.
Okay. Dr. Alwyn, are you saying that?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon again, Dr. Alwyn. Are you hearing us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you,
All
Catherine.
right. Good afternoon to Dr. Alwyn. Good afternoon to all of you who have tuned in today. Shamari, we're talking about sports medicine this Monday.
Yes.
Just talking about what's happening always at Health City, and today talk to us a little bit about what our show is going to be about.
So today is special. So we have the marathon that's coming up on Sunday, and Health City has sponsored for the most part every year. And the great thing about the marathon is I remember when they first started, back in my other hat on, back in my tourism days, and when they first came to present the vision for what they were doing, and obviously why they would have needed support in order to make it happen, and how they were going to build it over years so that we could have many international runners coming, as well as it was going to be one of only few marathons, if not the only one, that you actually would have this marathon run right next to the beach based on where it is and how beautiful of a run it is, as well as obviously getting like-minded sports persons who are running marathons to put this on their agenda, because there are marathoners that have a list of marathons they will run for that year, and we obviously wanted this one to be the one right before Christmas to end the year in a beautiful location, and obviously stay for an additional 2 weeks in order to spend more on island. So always was a fan of the marathon, and then it was a perfect transition when I went to Health City, in that obviously one of the main components of Health City is orthopedics, sports medicine, healthy lifestyles. If you get into issues, obviously we're here for you as Health City. But it also made sense that we got involved for persons who are looking after their health to also talk about their dietary needs, right? So, for instance, in other marathon years, we've actually had Dr. Alwyn going in and speaking about, the proper way to run, proper shoes to use, how to stretch properly. We have Dr. Naranjan speaking this year about how to properly prepare for the marathon, as well as Stellary. We prepared a dietary plan for a marathoner that speaks to what type of nutrition you need to be using to get your optimal output when you're actually running as well. So we find unique ways of partnering with the marathon and having different angles. And this year, coming into the marathon, there is a testimonial that will play sometime during the show, that there is a young lady who had actually torn her ACL, had a few consultations, came to us for a second opinion, fell in love with Dr. Alwyn and everything he had to tell her, and then actually went through with the procedure. And you'll see more of the story, but she's actually now going to be running the half marathon this Sunday. And that's the story we're holding up. Obviously, Dr. Alwyn, Dr. Naranj, and the entire ortho team has actually done a lot of work in this area over the last many years. But this is just one story that we thought we'd definitely highlight, seeing as she is going to be running in the marathon, and her job is actually training and needing to be physical in what she does. And Dr. Alwyn was able to help her to get back to what she loves.
Wow, that's a great story, I'll tell you. And Dr. Alwyn, of course, I'll just bring the listeners up to speed a little bit about him, a little bit of his background. He's an orthopedic surgeon. He brings over 10 years experience in arthroscopic procedures and joint replacements, and he's performed more than 4,000 orthopedic surgeries, including 600 joint replacement surgeries, 1,000 arthroscopies, and 700 arthroscopic ligament reconstructions of the knee. And he obviously has a strong academic background as well as research, and has presented many of his published papers. So, as an orthopedist, Dr. Alwyn is passionate about arthroscopy and joint replacements. And obviously, he's playing a pivotal role in Health City's state of the art orthopedic department. So, Dr. Alwyn, if you can speak a little bit in terms of that would be great. I'm gonna see if we can get you, since you're streaming, and you might have to come all the way to Georgetown, to talk to us one day, because it's getting,
One day.
technology, right? Yeah. So, yes, Dr. Alwyn.
Yeah. Sorry, we'll. I would love to be in the studio, and I think Wi-Fi sometimes gives trouble in in our city. Unfortunately, because of my outpatient clinics running really late, that's the reason I couldn't make it in person at the studio. Yeah. And with the current marathon coming up, we, as Shamari mentioned about Miss Luani and what we had done for her at Health City, we have a very comprehensive orthopedic department that does a lot of surgeries for joint replacements, which is for arthritis, and you would say maybe for a slightly older age group. Whereas with sports persons like Ms. Loani, we also do a lot of sports surgery where uh, work on a lot of athletes, including football players and soccer players who have a very special need, because it's not just correction of the problem, but correction to a level that they can get back to active sporting careers and and compete at a professional level. And I think that is a special challenge when it comes to sports surgeries, and arthroscopic surgeries help us a lot in achieving that.
Absolutely. Also, I see that that you actually have kind of done computer navigation as well. So, kind of, how does that look when you kind of navigate cartilage injury treatment through the computer?
So the computer, what it does is it allows us to kind of map the knee or the joint that you're going to do the surgery in. So if you're doing a hip surgery or a knee surgery, as first part of the surgery, you use trackers, which are like infrared trackers that the computer can actually see and watch while you're doing the procedure. And at the first part of the procedure, we are actually tracing the contours of the anatomy of the patient, and that is being fed into the system by the computer, which is automatically observing the tracker movements and registering the movements in space in 3-dimensional X, Y, and Z axis. And what it does is then produces a 3D model of the patient's hip or the patient's knee in the system, so that you can then do a real-time surgery, where if I'm doing a little bone cut, or if I'm doing a little ligament balancing, if I'm doing something there, it alters the biomechanics, and it shows to me in the system that though that particular biomechanic has been altered, has been corrected, and to what extent, and tells me to it helps me even with sizing of implants, as to make sure that we get the correct size of implant to the body if we are using an implant. And also it corrects the biomechanics and tells us how the limb is aligned, what is if at all we have changed the alignment, to what extent we have changed the alignment. So it leaves a lot of the guesswork out of the system, and it gives us an exact figure as to how much we would have changed and the anatomy or the biomechanics, and that this is real time. So it tells us while during the surgery what's going on, so that nothing is left to chance, and we don't realize later that, oh, maybe this was a little oversized or undersized, or mechanics should have been improved a little bit. So this way it double checks and gives us a something to work on during the surgery.
All right. Also, I see that the orthopedic department at Health City diagnoses and treats a wide range of musculoskeletal problems affecting the hip, knee, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and ankle, and is expanded to include physiotherapy and sports medicine services as well. So, Shamari, you have a whole complement at Health City in terms of treating any of these replacements or joint issues. Yes.
Definitely, and that's why we always want to get the word out there. At times when you hear orthopedics, you might not be sure exactly what it is, and then just based on the demographic that would come for knee replacements and hip replacements and the such, you may think it's somebody who's more mature, right? But we just want persons to understand that it's the whole gamut of what we're actually able to do. And even more so, I think, after you hear the testimonial and speaking with Dr. Alvin, you realize that persons who are younger, who are active, that tear tendons and ligaments, they too need special type of care in order to get back to the quality of life that they would have had, as well as to do what they at times maybe their job, their profession, if they're a trainer and the such, or just to do the thing that they love, from here forward. Like,
Right.
you remember Mr. Weston, who was here, rugby player. and how he was able to not only go back and coach, but go back and play for the national
Absolutely.
team.
Yes.
That story extends over and over many times with people due to quality of life from a sports medicine perspective that are able to get back to what they do and what they love.
Yeah, I actually was speaking to a lady today on the way here. You know, just out of the blue, called somebody, just talking to her and hailing her up. You know,
Right.
and she start. You know, the hail up turns into 15 minutes of just catching up with someone you haven't talked to in a long time. And
Definitely.
she actually said that she had her knee replaced at Health City.
Oh, okay.
Ironic, isn't it?
See?
As you're all speaking, I'm just remembering, and now I'm kind of looking at some of the things you do that has to do with reducing pain, restoring normal function and movement, and just just all that to bring the person back to their active, pain-free lifestyle.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking about how she was talking about it. She said that she's 70, she was 73 at the time that she had it done. So that was, and for her results to be so amazing, like she was just raving about Health City, and she said she was in so much pain that the choice of whether or not she made it through this operation was irrelevant. She's like,
Mhm.
I can't live like this.
Mhm.
And so she was taken such good care of, and it was just amazing. And she's back to normal. I didn't even know that she had had a knee replacement. So yeah, definitely. And I see a couple of comments. You're speaking with the very best orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alvin. We've got somebody commenting there and thanking you and Health City for providing these services to our island. And she's just agreed with you. So right, Shamari. That's Miss Faith Crooks.
Yes.
That's a note, couple of notes in there. So definitely, it's not just you talking, but people seeing the results, right? And I
Mhm.
think that's the whole thing. Today we bring the show, to the audience through Health City. Really, it's Medical Mondays. It's brought to you by Health City, and just talking about all the services you have. And each Monday we have Shamari or someone else from the Health City business office, right,
Mhm.
coming out, and one of the doctors or two of the doctors, and maybe sometimes a patient, and just talking about the different services and talking about the different things that you offer and the different results too,
Mhm.
just to let the general public know what's going on all the way down there in the east or up there in the east or
Mhm.
whatever it is.
And it speaks volumes as well. Like you would have heard Mr. Weston speaking about the two shoulders he had, one that was overseas and one that was here, with obviously Dr. Owen, and how the one that was done here, in his words, was so much better and allowed him to get back out there, and he isn't feeling the pain. Um, and I know a lot of times, even though the longer Health City is here, more people know about our expertise. A lot of times people think just because it's up north, it's better, right? But when you actually have persons leaving up north to come to Health City due to the quality and the physicians we have, as well as people from the Caribbean, Latin America, large countries
Right.
that would have physicians, and they're coming to our little island to see Health City all the way in East End, is because of the expertise. And more, we're getting the reputation, which is well deserved because of the product we give, due to having doctors like a Dr. Alwyn, Dr. Naranjan, Dr. Benoit, Dr. Ravi, Dr. Ramnish, and the list goes on, that we're giving this level of service. And we can talk about it, and that's why I'm excited for when we actually play the testimonial. You can actually hear somebody who is an active person, who needs to be able to move freely, and obviously put a lot of stress on those joints based on what she does. And Dr. Allen was the person through the orthopedic team, to give her that new lease on life in regards to being able to do what she actually does as a profession.
Yeah. Well, what I love about I think what you do and the information that you can get on your website. So you
Yes.
can go to Health City, what is it, healthcity.com or what is, I mean, I just Google
Yeah,
anything.
that's what usually happens. You just Google
I
and you
just
click on
Google
it,
anything.
but we
Yeah.
made it short, healthcity.ky,
Okay.
or healthcitycaymanislands.com.
You are going to find it
But
just,
just
yeah,
Google it and
trust
click
me.
on it and go through. Yeah.
That's my life. I just Google anything, right? And it comes up. And what I love about it is that I'm able to see the background of the doctors
Yes.
and the surgeons, and that to me means something, because I don't want to feel like I'm going to an institution anywhere and then someone's just coming and I'm just trusting in that person. I feel like it needs to be a collaboration. It's
Right.
my body, it's my health.
Right.
I want to be involved. Who are you? What do you do? What have you done? Right? And so to me, the testimonial will obviously be really great.
Mhm.
When we play it, that'll be awesome. But I'm also able to get that information online.
Definitely.
And so I know as soon as I'm meeting Dr. Alwyn, I have a background on him. I see where he's practiced. I see the things that he's done. I'm able to see 4,000 plus surgeries,
Mhm.
600 joint replacement surgery, the surgeries.
Mhm.
I mean, that's some good stuff.
Mhm.
So I want to ask Dr. Alwyn, how does it feel to be a part of changing someone's life so much that they're able to, they're able to get back to living? Like, how does that feel? That must feel awesome. How does that feel? How does that feel? How does that feel? How does that feel? No. Yeah, we're dealing with streaming right now. So hold on, let me see. Streaming right now. So hold on, let me see. Streaming right now. So hold on.
I'm sorry, I lost you for a bit. With the Wi-Fi being a bit dodgy out here in the east.
Yeah, you have amazing medical technology in the East, Kamari, but that Wi-Fi it stops about breakers or something.
Well,
And then you're across from the
that's
blowhole. You're across
exactly
from
that's one of the challenges at times we have in the East is connectivity from a Wi-Fi perspective. But you know, I won't blame it all on the East. Because in the morning, for whatever reason, we're able to get through. So maybe it's a time of day issue as well.
Could be.
But as before we even get to the video, but just to mention that Dr. Alwyn has been called all around the world to actually scrub in with other physicians, just based on the quality of physician that he actually is, and he takes his time with his patients, and being in the supermarket, people will come up to me and tell me, oh, I went to see Dr. Alwyn, and he was actually speaking to me not as a patient, but it seemed like he was speaking to me as a family member, and he really cared and really wanted to understand what was wrong with me. Wasn't quick to cut, right? And wanted to make sure that we could see if there was progress made through other avenues, and then only when we knew that this was the only thing that was actually going to help to make either alleviate the pain or to make it better in regards to walking or running or whatever the issue is.
Yeah.
Then we went about it, and he made sure I was educated. He explained everything to me, and I will always love Dr. Alwyn, right? Or I'll always love Dr. Naranjan, just based on the fact that they really care and they go through all the options. And then obviously on the back end, they do a great job. And it's not just the Dr. Alwyn, it's the entire team.
Well, yeah.
Physiotherapists, nurses, ICU, any of the physicians we speak to talk about the fact that it's the entire complement of what we have at Health City that helps you to get the great outcomes. And that's why they obviously love working at Health City as well. And that's why even myself, when I heard about the vision of what Health City was supposed to be, other people were like, you're crazy, you're leaving tourism, we're on an upward trajectory to go where, to do what? Have you had a mental break? No, it was understanding what was there, the product that was there, the vision that was there. And then sure enough, after years, well, 1 year to be correct, people are like, oh, we now get it, right?
Okay.
And that's why, I'm proud to be a part of Health City and to have doctors like Dr. Alwyn who help the majority of people, and that's why we have great testimonials and people writing in talking about how great he is.
Absolutely. And how long were you at tourism before you made that shift?
Oh, because I was tourism's first intern with Rosa McLean.
Okay.
Both of us were first interns at tourism back in the day, when penned a long letter explaining to the then director, Mrs. Martins, why they needed to have an intern.
Okay.
and we'll come and work for free. And actually got an opportunity to go there in '96. So I would have been at tourism from internship days until I left, close to 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So you
yeah,
need to spread your wings a little bit.
yeah,
And then to be a part of such a cutting edge thing, like just in Cayman Islands. I love that.
definitely.
I love that. And I'm reading another comment from Lydia McLaughlin, who's
Hmm.
actually my first cousin and resides in North Carolina, by the way. Born here, but been living in the States almost her whole life
Right.
since she was a little girl because her parents
Hmm.
immigrated to the States. And she's saying, this is excellent. I had 2 total knee replacements, and having a great surgeon is vital. It's key to how you recover.
Yes.
And thank you, Lydia. Thank you for watching my class, right? I didn't know
There
that. Look
was,
at
look at
you.
that support. You see?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, just to to hear that from somebody who actually lives in the United States, right? Is something. And Miss Faith Crooks again has said same experience. People describe him as compassionate, knowledgeable, thorough, and the list goes on and on. And so we're here talking about Dr. Alvin, and he's not able to talk with us as usual because of the streaming, but he's smiling and he's very proud. So how does that feel? I'm going to try this again. How does that feel, Dr. Alwyn?
I think, to be honest, Catherine, it feels great. But the true thing that actually keeps me ticking, I was telling Shamari this morning as well, that I think it's the patients doing well and seeing that they are benefiting from what you have done. It really keeps me ticking and makes my day. When I have a patient in my clinic saying, yes, I am better, I have my quality of life has improved, or able to do or get back to my profession or my career, and knowing that I'm making a meaningful difference in their lives, I think is a great vocation and a mission actually. And I think that there's no amount of money in the world that can take away that satisfaction.
Absolutely. And I'm just very happy that we're able to have this here. I've heard people say about Health City that it's large, but it feels like a little clinic. You know, the feeling of it is so personal, and so they feel so important that
Mhm.
it feels like you've walked into a little clinic, and it's this huge, state of the art place where you get lost,
Mhm.
and that's beautiful. And I think it's because of what we call bedside manner. It's because of
Definitely.
that relationship with your doctor, with your surgeon. That's so important, that it should feel like family, because you're putting your trust in this person. Sometimes you don't have no idea what he's going to do. You have no idea about any of this study that he's
Mhm.
undergone. So you are putting your trust in this person, that they're going to do for you and care for you, and you're going to be okay. So I think definitely, yeah, and it's just really, really, really great, to know that Health City is just one of these great products in our country, and we're able to offer that. And to hear someone from the U.S. say that is awesome. Faith Crooks, Health City offers opportunities for local kids to gain experience prior to college. Shamari, are you Faith Crooks?
No.
I'm
Faith,
just
Faith
joking.
Crooks
She is doing good today. Thank you
yes.
so much. It really is absolutely great to hear it from someone. Health City Explorers is a program that it benefits young people here. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back also. And then we will be playing, when the show comes back, we'll play the testimonial so that you're able to hear that. But today is Medical Mondays. This is brought to you by Health City. You're listening to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show. This is Catherine Tyson. I'm here with Shamari Scott, who is the Health City Chief Business Officer, as well as Dr. Alwyn Almeida, who is the Chief Orthopedic Surgeon. He's coming to us through the live stream. Stay tuned. We have more for you. Don't go anywhere. And of course, you can always call us at 943-3700 if you'd like to ask a question or make a comment. We'll be back with more. Please stay tuned.
Join the conversation. The phone lines are now open. 943-3700. More straight talk to come on Star 927.
At Watler and Hislop, we know this Christmas season will be spent with friends old and new. There will be fruitcake and sorrel, singing of carols, and lots of fun things to do. As we prep for the parties, bring out the china, or put on a fresh coat of paint. Let's flush out the old and bring in the new with Cayman's #1 heavy equipment, auger cast piles, and septic service crew.
To landscapers, contractors, business developers, and you, individual homeowners, Watler and Hislop wishes you a very Merry Christmas.
Cayman National's new suite of deposit accounts is something just right for you. Are you an easy banker that loves flexibility, or a legacy builder saving towards that dream goal? You might be looking for a Gen Now experience, perfect for the youth, or maybe it's time to enjoy the Caymanite lifestyle with peace of mind. Visit CaymanNational.com or stop by one of our customer service centers to find out more about our new account offerings. Cayman National, banking that fits your lifestyle.
Yeah, I heard he got that hot new thing. It's called
Switch to Flow now and keep your number.
Oh, you just gonna stand there, huh?
Switch your prepaid number and get 5 gigs of data valid for 30 days. Or switch to postpaid and get your first month free on us. Flow is giving you so much more. What are you waiting for? Make the switch now. Visit any one of our retail stores to sign up now. Call 747-5050 or visit discoverflow.ky/switch. Flow, you deserve to be on the biggest and fastest network.
Reimagine a bright Christmas with an RBC loan for a new home or new car. RBC gives you new ways to bank better with expert financial advice from our mobile mortgage and auto finance specialists who will meet you safely at a location of your choice. Visit us at rbc.com/Caribbean/reimagined home and auto. Reimagine better banking.
Welcome back to Straight Talk on Star 927.
And welcome back to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show. Catherine Tyson, your host. And we're talking to the Health City people. This is Medical Mondays. And I have Chief Business Officer Shamari Scott in studio. Dr. Mita, Chief Orthopedic Surgeon, is joining us via live stream. And we will be now, you'll be listening. And those of you watching it, you'll be able to see a testimonial. Tell us a little bit about that, Shamari.
Yeah, so it's really it speaks for itself. It's testimonial. That's a young lady who had an ACL tear, and she actually had a profession that had to do with training, and came to Dr. Alwyn, and he helped to fix her up so she could get back to her daily life. And she's also now able to run in the half marathon, which is this Sunday. So great story for the marathon. Great story for us at Health City.
Wow, good stuff. All right, so here we go. Here we go. I participate in a run.
She had an injury to her knee, which could be almost career threatening, or something that could have kept her away from sports. She had an ACL injury, and also had torn her lateral meniscus pretty badly. She had a complete tear of the ACL and reconstruction of the ligament.
I had to do MRI and get 2 opinions about the
Wow. So you heard that, huh? You heard that that testimonial there. I got a question, Shamari. All the stuff we just saw, because those that are watching the stream on Facebook, she's jumping rope and she's pumping weights. That's
Mhm.
after.
Yeah, that's all after. That's all recent.
Wow.
That's all recent. So everything you would have seen is after surgery. That all of the things that she would have been doing prior to surgery. She was doing the jump box as well. I don't know what it's exactly called, where you jump on the box and jump back down, as well as you saw, bending, lifting weights, and doing the jump rope. And then obviously now she's running a half marathon. So all of that is after surgery, after the ACL tear, and Dr. Alwyn and the team being able to, go ahead and operate and get her back to where she was previously. And you also would have heard her say it's pain-free. And I remember Mr. Wesson also talking about being pain-free in what he was doing as well.
Incredible. I mean, honestly, like, I think if anyone's having any pain, I'm having some knee pain. Every time I watch something, I'm having something. I'm gonna check this stuff out. But like, honestly, I know you all are laughing. It's so not funny. But really, if you're having any issues, if you're struggling with anything, like you're in good hands. Go check it out, because what I just saw, and also those of you that are listening, go check out our Facebook page. It's on Star 92.7 or Straight Talk Drive at 5. I think it's also on YouTube. Check it out so that you can actually see the video, and you'll be able to share this conversation also with other people, just to check out how well she's doing after. Like, it's and I think, like you said, Shamari, it's
So
not
Catherine,
just
I'm going to let you in on a little secret, right?
okay.
That video has not been released as yet, so it's actually still private. So we're only allowing you on this Monday to be able to show it.
Look at
So
that.
it's actually going to be released right after the marathon.
Look at
So
that.
they can't search for it and find it right now, but right here on the show, they were able to watch it if they were streaming, or hear it.
Right.
And then right after the marathon, it'll be released. Then it will go up on our YouTube channel, as well as Facebook and everything else.
Obviously, Shamari, you are not in the marketing department, because we could have had like 5,000 people looking for that right now, and that would have been awesome. And it wouldn't have mattered if they found it, because they would have been watching the show.
We have many other videos that they
So
can watch and
stop
see,
it.
but I don't want them to be, searching and can't find it. I don't want to frustrate the
What
people
what
who
they're
trust
gonna find,
us.
What they're going to find, they're going to
Yes.
find information about Dr. Alwyn.
Definitely.
They're going to find information about Health City.
And
They're
many
gonna
other
find
testimonials.
Exactly.
Yes.
They're going to find a lot of stuff. So go search.
Yes.
But
yes.
that video will not be available till after the
And that's
half
why they have to
marathon.
listen in to your show. You see?
Absolutely.
Because you get right off the hot presses before it's even made public.
Exactly. See, we're privy to some things. People, listen. I saw someone, I think 2 people today, and they said, "Oh, you sound good. I'm listening to you." I'm like, call in. Let us know you're listening. But you're right. A lot of people are listening, and if you are struggling with anything, like, Health City is the way to go. It's the most beautiful, scenic, tranquil drive
Yes.
towards good health.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
That should be like
Take your leisurely drive
that should be
towards
like
good
a little-
health.
You guys need to start
Yes.
having a
We're
powwow.
within your reach.
Yeah, a little powwow for like mottos or something. What is your motto
Definitely.
now?
Hmm?
What is a motto? Do you have a motto now?
So right now it's we're within your reach, just based on the fact that obviously Health City is here. The few persons who still would try and go overseas that are not able to go overseas, we just want to make them aware that we're actually within their reach.
Wow, and that's great. That's great
yes.
news, right?
Yes.
So Health City treats a wide variety of conditions, including arthritis, knee injuries, occupational related injuries, shoulder pain, sports related injuries, stiff joints, tennis elbow, and that's called something else. It was lateral epicondylitis.
See?
I'm learning.
Yeah, you got it down.
I'm learning.
There we
yes. So definitely, there's just a host of things. You can just check that out on the website for sure. And Dr. Alwyn, some of your special areas are joint replacement, knee, hip, shoulder. So anybody has any issues like that, you're the man to see. Also, sports medicine and arthroscopic surgeries, keyhole, which we talked about last time, or minimally invasive surgeries of the knee and shoulder, trauma and sports injuries. Right? Those are your areas of specialty. Okay, so we're not able to hear Dr. Alwyn again.
Sorry.
Not sure why. Let's try that
Is
again.
this better? Can I? Okay, yeah, so with regard to Health City, we do a fairly complex set of procedures and pretty much a wide range of orthopedic services, right from joint replacements to sports surgeries. But when it comes to athletes of the likes of Miss Silva as well as Weston and others like him, there have been other cricket players, football players that I have operated over the years. We have Dr. Niranjan and me, and we've had most of them go back to their level of activity and professions as sports persons. I think that's very important. And arthroscopic surgery, like we discussed last time, actually helps a lot in that because you're able to get to the point of where the problem is and fix that without disrupting any of the other natural muscles and ligaments and anatomical structures which are covering the joint. So you can directly get into the knee, get to the root of the problem, and repair it, or reconstruct it there without having to disrupt the patellar tendon or quadriceps muscles or any ligaments or capsules around. So it not only does it translate to a faster recovery, but it's also less painful and more minimally invasive. Also means less blood loss, less complications for the patient. And by preserving structures that need not be damaged during the process of the surgery, you're able to ensure that sports men and women are able to get back to their previous level of activity within a reasonable time frame of healing.
All right. I mean, and what more can you ask than that, right? To just get me back to my life, pain-free, stress-free. And I mean, I can actually get back to doing the things that I was accustomed to doing. Because I think sometimes when you are in pain or you're experiencing something, you just want it to stop. And so if it stops, it means that if you even have to contemplate that it stops and I can't do that again, that's fine because I just want it to stop. But you guys are going a step further, which is I'm gonna make it stop, but I'm gonna also allow you to get back to your life. And that's great. That's really great. And I think just seeing, Miss Luann Martin Silva's story, you're not seeing an elderly person, right? So sometimes when you think of these things, you think of, oh, it's because of, old joints or whatever, but not necessarily. It has a lot to do with active lifestyles and different things. And so, yeah, to be able to have that go-to.
And that's the thing that even as a society, you look at how many sports clubs we have across the sporting spectrum. When you actually delve down, we have quite an active population between the ages of 10 up to 30, and even those that play,
beyond,
a little beyond.
But went to the rugby pitch.
Exactly. So we have a lot of people who
about 70.
Well, that's okay as well.
Of course, it's okay. It's amazing.
But for those younger persons that have an injury, it shouldn't rob you of the many decades you have to go enjoying that sport.
Right.
And that's the great thing about Dr. Alwyn and even some of the persons commentating. I know that they have young adults that are sports persons that would have seen Dr. Alwyn and Dr. Alwyn would have been able to help to hook them back up and nurse them back into shape to be able to do what they're very good at.
Right.
So we're able to help just your regular athlete who is doing it for recreation, and obviously those that are actually doing it at a level that they can compete at the Olympics and or those that are on that trajectory to eventually make it to semi-pro or pro.
Right.
The great thing about Dr. Alwyn and his team is that we're able to help those types of sports persons get back into the game as well.
Right. And I love that what you said about how there's so many kind of sports, like clubs and different sports activities and came out because we have amazing weather.
Mhm.
And so even people that are coming from other countries, and especially coming from places that you have 3 good months of sun,
Mhm.
and you come to a place where every day is sunny, and you might
That's
have
right.
your rainy season or whatever, but it's still amazing. So you want to enjoy that. You want to get out. You want to be a part of it. So this service that you're providing is such a great comfort,
Mhm.
right? That I have some place that I can go to that will take care of me,
Mhm.
and from the door all the way until it's time for you to go home. The care is very consistent. That's Health City, and thank you all so much for providing that for us, and having our just top notch physicians like Dr. Alwyn there for sure. I have a little thing. I usually start with the motivation, but I wanted to put it in the middle here. The foundation of success in life is good health. That is the fortune. It is also the basis of happiness. A person cannot accumulate a fortune very well when he is sick,
Mhm.
right? So, and that's P.T. Barnum. And it's so true. Like, what is the wealth of your life? And the wealth of your life is the health of your life.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. And persons, and that's why we always look at persons who are stressed, persons who are working. If you don't find that time in order to take care of yourself and to find something you love to do, whether it's sports or otherwise, it's that rounded person that actually then becomes more healthy, whether it's eating right, not in excess, doing this that little bit of exercise, 30 minutes, what they say, 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. You can get away with 3. But and then also finding that time to do what we love, whether it's painting, whether it's taking a run, whether it's playing football.
Right.
It's all a part of making sure that you have equal balance that leads us to be our best you.
Right. Absolutely. Okay.
Yes.
So what do you do? What are some of the things that you do to keep healthy? Like,
Oh,
what are
well,
your
I
exercise?
yeah. So I now I have kids, so I actually can play basketball with the kids outside.
Good.
Try and get them to be a little bit more coordinated. I think they got some of that from my wife.
Yeah.
The
To be-
uncoordinated
Oh,
company, right?
Okay.
So I'm trying to get them to be a little bit more coordinated.
Because your family is very sportsy,
Yes,
right?
yes,
That's what I remember.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
yes, and yeah, love my wife, but she is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very fit, but not from a sporting perspective coordinated.
Right.
That's why
That's
even
just the brain.
yeah, even I've trained her over time, right? So anytime she asks for something that doesn't break, I kind of throw it at her so that she can learn to catch.
Okay.
And after a decade of marriage, today she asked for a bar of soap, and I threw it at her, and she caught it.
I'm hearing that you're throwing things at your
Yes.
wife. Social worker here.
Yes, yes.
Not
So
sure if I'm receiving this information. Good.
it's a
I'm gonna
sports
tell her
throw.
blink if you need help.
No, it's a sports throw. You throw it, and she
Okay, and
catches
she
it.
caught it.
And she caught it,
today.
and it was
One
great.
day she's gonna throw it back.
It is. She does that all the time, and so do my kids, and I catch it all.
Good
They
job.
I don't know if you ever watched the YouTube videos where they try and they're like, "Daddy has great hands," and every time he passes a corner, they throw something at him, and he
Right.
always catches it.
Right.
I always catch everything that they throw at me. They're waiting for the day that I'm going to drop it. I never drop it.
Oh goodness.
But yes,
they
definitely.
should all throw one time.
So I do the elliptical. I try and eat well, and then there's an over 40 league, so all of the old dogs from the old national team, under 16, under 18, and under 21
Brush off the dust
are
off.
yes. And you know what our name, the actual name of our team is the WD-40 Hicatees, and our motto is we may be slow but we bite. All right, so I'm doing that now as well as the elliptical, and then also a healthy dose of reading, which I've always I
Good
read.
stuff.
As I told Jack Canfield when he came here to speak, And he was like, "Oh, how much do you read?" I was like, "I mean, I read a fair amount." I was like, "But I don't read for pleasure. I read for knowledge." And he's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, because obviously I just like sharpening my mind and having information, but I really don't like reading. But I still force myself. I like the knowledge, not the reading.
Okay.
If I can get it in an audio book or if I can watch it, I'll definitely do that. But
All right.
reading is impactful."
Okay. And so, Dr. Alwyn, what do you do to keep active, keep healthy?
Well, I love sports. So I one of the things I never used to like was exercise just in the gym. It was very boring for me if I had to just run or do anything. But I love playing sports. So I play tennis. I play table tennis. I used to play football and cricket, but paucity of time now I'm not doing much of that. I do golf on the weekends, and I prefer to walk the 18 holes if possible. And I think praying and meditation that helps as well. But mostly sports is what I do and table tennis. These are my generally favorite sports, and golf.
All right. Okay. So those are good things. I just think it's good for when people are listening to interviews and we're talking about all of these, these things that are good for us, and we need to do that. I think it's just nice when the people speaking are able to just put their own little spin on it and say,
Definitely.
yeah, we're not just preaching it, but we're also
Exactly.
kind of walking the talk.
Or you're trying to call me out. One of the two.
Well, you just told me to throw things at your wife. You did that. Yes, I didn't know that was coming.
Suppose I was like, yeah, I talk about it, but I don't do anything. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
you put me on the spot, but that's okay.
I remember
I'm
the
doing it. I'm doing it.
WD-40
That's right.
I
I'm
won't
doing it.
forget
I'm
that.
doing it.
No, absolutely, and it's good. It's good.
So
And
can you
I'm
catch,
glad.
Catherine?
I actually can.
Okay, so I don't have to test you.
I really can.
You
but
can?
Anything you throw is gonna just fall on the ground here because I don't allow it. So I will not allow that. But you know what? People are just different, right? So I know Nichelle can scuffle right now and she can hold her own, and I might not be able to do that.
No, man, you can
Like
catch.
if she got to throw something back at you, she can do that.
Things
So-
that you catch.
But no, the reason I know that I'm a good catcher is
Yes.
because I have
Not throw like direct line, you have to softball where you loft it.
Yeah, well, no, I
And
have
then you-
I have 3 amazing mango trees that I talk about all the time during mango season.
Uh-huh.
And so
You
what
pelt
I
them
do,
down, or?
no, what I do is my guy climbs a tree and he throws
Shakes
them
it.
to me.
Oh,
No,
throws it.
and I
Okay.
catch every one.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And
all
so
right,
I
all
can't
right, all right,
climb.
all right.
So we're a good team.
So
We're an
you
amazing
catch.
team. He climbs, he throws them, I catch them, and we just.
All right, there we
I
go.
just,
And you've
you know,
never
gather
dropped
them.
one.
No.
All
No.
right.
But
Okay.
he's also not trying to catch me out on something.
No, I'm not
He's
trying
not
to catch
trying
anybody
for
out.
Mango to
I'm
drop.
trying to train to catch. And after 10 years, she can now catch.
It has happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I just need to work on the boys. They can catch. It's just,
Well, they're boys.
Yeah, they can
Come
catch.
on,
It's just,
Yeah.
sometimes they run into a pool, going a little bit too fast for
They're
their own
boys.
good,
Yeah.
And then they
They're
pop off and run right back. And I'm
They
like,
probably love
are you
that
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had sons and a daughter. And,
Oh,
and
so you know.
Well, yeah, the boys big guava, and they
Yeah,
still,
and they good.
And my daughter just thinking of hitting that pole, crying. What's the matter? I could hit that if I ran.
Well, I have 3 boys, so yes, a lot of that to come.
Yeah, and that's what kind of keeps you active as well. I think definitely we have to stay healthy in our mind.
Mhm.
That feeds our body. But in the event that something needs to happen, or we need to ensure that we're okay, here's the place to go. Health
Definitely.
City.
Definitely.
And you're listening to Health City Medical Mondays. Every Monday we're here talking about the beautiful kind of benefits of treatment at Health City and all of the different types of treatment that you can definitely check out on the website. But tune in on Mondays. Clearly, today we're talking about sports medicine, and we're talking about that ACL, that the ACL repair that we were able to share the the testimonial from a patient, and Martin Silva, and how she is back to her life and she's about to run a half marathon.
That's right.
With an ACL repair. Here we are with not an ACL repair.
And are we running?
You're not running a piece of a marathon. So Dr. Alwyn, definitely, thank you so much for joining us today, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Miss Catherine. Yeah, and it's always a pleasure to be on the show. And I think one of the things I forgot to add when I was saying was, as you grow older, it's more important for you to exercise, just from a overall standpoint, especially core strength of your abs, your back, and other things. We take a lot of these things for granted, and as we age, if you don't exercise and stay fit, you can quickly see degeneration occurring in many of your joints and in your muscles and body parts. So I think exercising on a regular basis is actually a very good thing, and I would recommend it to everybody.
Absolutely. It sounds like that he's promoting table tennis. It's just joking.
I know
Thank
some
you so
dangerous
much.
table tennis players.
I know that. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Shamari Scott, the Chief Business Officer at Health City. And thank you, Dr. Alwyn Almeida, for joining us this afternoon, the Chief Orthopedic Surgeon. This is Medical Mondays, brought to you by Health City. And we'll talk with you tomorrow, where it will be hot topics. And of course, you can always join in the conversation, 943-3700, or send us an email. Thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. This was your Straight Talk Drive at 5 show. I hope that you are either safely home or you're almost there, and have a great evening. Talk to you tomorrow.